Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the Princeton Pong May Open, and this is the Under 2000 Finals. It's been a long day, but we have finally made it to the conclusion of it. We have ALLAN ANZAGIRA sitting at 1995 rating, coming up against SHEN at 1928. Both of these guys have fought hard to get here to this final. But if I'm being all honest here, they didn't get too much trouble. Charles had to kind of battle some tough fights, especially against Doug Wallace, the anti-spin player. So, the rules, everybody knows them. Everybody knows the rules. But, on the off chance that you don't, let's go over them real quick. So, in the sport of table tennis, the matches go to 11. Each player gets 2 points each. First to 11 wins. And in this format, we have a best 3 out of 5. ALLAN is sitting in the far court. Penhold player does his best attempt at a reverse penhold backhand. Doesn't really work out the best all the time, but it's the thought that counts. Now let's talk about preferences and what each of these players likes to do. Charles plays a game decently close to the table, finds his opening shot, and really prefers to go for the inside-out forehand shot. Won a good majority of his points today with that shot. He's very comfortable opening up on both wings. And there you can see his father and coach in the angle. Apologies for that. Okay, I am back again. And a scoreline of 5-1. Charles showing a good bit of spirit here. up with a 4-point differential, and a little bit of self-destruct going on here. ALLAN keeps attempting to brick every single shot, but what he wants to do right now, more than anything, is probably slow things down a little bit. And Charles is completely running away with the first game of the match here, 10-3. And there it is, closes it out. 11-3, an 8-point differential. You know, sometimes it's like that. Some players take a little bit longer than others to adjust to the opposing player's play style. The next game is going to be much more indicative of whether Charles was really outplaying ALLAN the first game here, or if ALLAN was just trying to calibrate and it was a little late in getting that calibration. So let's see what kind of adjustments ALLAN makes. Good start to the first point. Okay, a little bit of a kick, shovel serve. Takes him to the backhand and then to the forehand with the serves. Oh, I tell you what, guys, ALLAN has the same points that he's had at the beginning of this game than he had the whole game on the previous one. Shovel serves. ALLAN had the right idea here. Tried to loop it cross court. A let ball. Slow down, ALLAN. Slow down, my friend. ALLAN snaking the ball under the table, but Charles is not falling for it at all. ALLAN goes for a big counter loop attack and nets him a point. Charles unable to handle the incoming spin. Trying to get you guys the perfect camera angle here. Now the fishing game has worked decently well for ALLAN here. But what I do want to see is a little bit of better quality on ALLAN's service receive. A lot of balls have been popping up and he always ends up on the back foot as Charles gets an easy opening attack, and then ALLAN is left fumbling for the rest of the point. And that is a 9-9 scoreline, contentious as ever here. This is the second game of the match. Now, this is a really big one. If Charles wins, he's going to be up 2-0. So he's going to have, you know, much calmer nerves, and he may, you know, choose to get aggressive as he really wants here, or take many more calculated risks than ALLAN. Heavy quality on the underspin push. Goes about 3/4 of the net's height, but unable to quite clear the distance there. And ALLAN puts the funky spin on it. That is game point for ALLAN. And another dead serve claims the point for Charles. Fantastic rally from both players. However, the Achilles heel for ALLAN here is going to be his very apparent lack of backhand. And there it is. The second game goes towards Charles. And ALLAN is in some serious trouble here. It's going to be quite the deficit to make up. Has to win 3 games in a row. Very little margin of error. Now let's talk about what worked for ALLAN before. A lot of his shovel kick serves towards Charles' middle forehand seemed to be quite effective early on. And when he would vary it up with some pendulum serves, very wide to the short backhand, he seemed to be able to get a decent third ball attack. On Charles' side, what we've seen absolutely kill ALLAN when it comes to points is those dead serves. ALLAN having a really hard time reading those. Good start for ALLAN in the third game here. Long side underspin serve. Great length on that. Takes it off of the bounce, and you know these are the kind of shots that you're gonna go for with a 2-game lead. When you've built yourself this much of an advantage, you can take as many risks as you want, and that's when you should go for risks. And as this game approaches its end, the nerves are only going to get worse for ALLAN, I'm sure. A 3-all score line. Fish from under the table with a decent amount of topspin. Charles did not anticipate that at all. Kind of jumps up a little bit. Gets on top of that ball and reads the spin perfectly on it. Amazing stuff from Charles here. And we have Allan, his back up against the wall, figuratively and literally. Allan maintains that slight point advantage. That is his lifeline. Kick serve gets read perfectly by Charles there. Finally made that adjustment. That serve had given him a good bit of trouble in the first 2 games, but hey man, you give the kids an inch, they're gonna take a mile. So you really can't give anybody 2-game lead, but especially not these youngins. I think that's the first time we've seen Allan use his backhand the whole game. Clips the top of the net. A good bit of fortune for Charles there. And, you know, may want to make use of that timeout, Mr. ANZAGIRA. Allan willed that ball over the net. He's like, he definitely prayed all night coming up to this tournament. He's like, you know what, if I have dear God, if I ever have a net ball towards the end of the game with my back against the wall at 8-8, just give me that ball. Just push it over the net. Nine. This is either the denouement or the climax. Let's see where this goes. 10-9, game and match point for Mr. Charles. Is he going to be able to close this one out? A loud show echoes in the chambers. ALLAN falls, figuratively and literally. The crowd cheers. The young man raises his hands in celebration. A hard-fought victory and a smashing performance. Congratulations, Mr. Charles Shen. And you know what? Let's see if we can get an interview with Mr. Charles. I'm going to go ahead and try to get him right here, right now. No time like the present. I want to go home. Okay. Mr. Charles, I'm going to go send one of my minions to go grab you. Let me just set up this camera. Okay, guys, you know the drill. If you ever have any questions, post them in our chats. I'm going to be looking at questions in the Discord as well as the Facebook page. Okay, let's get this started. So I am here with our under 2000 event winner. This is Charles Shen. Charles, congratulations on a fantastic victory.
Thank you.
How do you feel coming off of that win?
I feel very good. He was a tough opponent. His lobbing spins was really hard to do, but I found a pace and I moved him around and eventually he couldn't get it anymore. So that's how I basically got most of my points.
Gotcha. What would you say was the trickiest part of playing against ALLAN?
His lobs were really spinny, and when he lobbed, you have to move extra because they were going to spin. It was sort of like a snake, but not really. But as long as you get them and move him around, he's gonna have a tough time.
Gotcha. I saw in the first two games, he had a couple of kick serves that were giving you some trouble there. How did you adjust to those?
So if he served it to my forehand, like the kick serves, I would just block it because if you, for those kick serves, if you do too much of a big motion, it's gonna go flying. It's gonna hit the edge of the paddle and it's gonna go flying. And if he did it backhand, same thing, I blocked it instead of trying to hit it as hard as possible.
Coming into this game in the final, did you have a particular game plan that you wanted to implement?
No, when I came here, my goal, since I haven't done a tournament in a while, my goal was just to try my best and not lose 200 points. But I think I got my expectations beyond. Yeah.
How would you say your tournament has been so far compared to your expectations coming in? You said you haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how you performed today?
I feel really proud of myself because I haven't done a tournament in like a year and a half because of COVID. So I feel really proud of myself.
Awesome, man. What is your training schedule like? Have you been training all the way through the pandemic?
Okay, so my training schedule, since March of 2020, we stopped training because of the COVID was really bad there. So we basically stopped training for like 6 months, and we came back in like early September. So, and then now my training schedule is Monday is 1 hour, Thursday is 1 hour 30 minutes, Friday is 2 hours, and Saturday is 1 hour 30 minutes. And the other days I have other stuff.
Gotcha, that's awesome. So we're trying to make it a habit to ask players what kind of equipment do they use, because what happens is a lot of times after we post out these games, people see, man, that guy plays really well. It must be his equipment, right? So just to make people happy, do you mind telling everybody what you use for your equipment?
My equipment is actually very simple. It's like the most beginner rubber because I've been playing with it for like 7 years or so. So I know how to do things with it. I know how to like do tricky things with it, and I can control really good with it. Like I have a lot of control with it.
Right, so what do you actually use?
I use Friendship, this rubber called Friendship. It's like the most basic rubber.
And do you use that on both the forehand and the backhand?
Yeah.
And what blade do you have?
I don't know what it's called. Daddy, can you get my blade? I don't know what it's called actually.
We'll find out. But his dad just
It's
brought us
this
a
one.
paddle. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, so we got the Nitaku acoustic. It's a great paddle. Let us see. So let me just look here real quick, see if we have any questions. So no questions so far. All right, are you going to be coming tomorrow here to play in the upper events?
Yeah, I'm going to play 2100.
You're going to play 2100, and how do you feel about that?
It's going to be a lot tougher because there are going to be more 2000s, I think.
Gotcha. All right. Mr. Charles, do you have anything to say to our viewers here? Anything you want to put out there?
No.
All right, Charles, man, congratulations on the win once again. Thank you so much. We hope to see some great performances from you tomorrow, all right?
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and that concludes our broadcast for today. It has been my pleasure, and as always, thank you so much for watching us. It means a lot to me when you guys post the encouraging comments, and you know, when you see me and you tell me how much you enjoyed the stream, it really makes me happy. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys come join us tomorrow, and we will be waiting for you. But as for today, that concludes our broadcast, and we'll